What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Billy, your boy Raza, back with another video for the channel. Welcome back to the best sports podcast in the world. And before we get into this video, I want to talk about my boy Raza and I. It's been how long, Raza? It's week 14 in the NFL. Oh, no, sorry.
13, yes.
14,
13,
right? 13.
14, 14, yes,
Somewhere around
14.
that. It's been quite the journey. So, again, I want to thank you guys for just tuning in, liking the video, and just watching. We've been working hard every week to build up this content for you guys. And, Raza, how you doing today, buddy?
Man, I'm doing good and excited for our game and happy to see the Lakers win finally. And we're recording on a Wednesday because we had finals and stuff for
Mhm.
college. So let's get started, man. Excited
Yeah.
for today's
But
episode.
before we get into today's video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more NBA NFL content, and let's roll the intro. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Abdullah and your boy Raza. And coming in, breaking news from the Indiana Pacers. They are looking, after beating the Washington Wizards, are looking to rebuild and trading away pieces such as Miles Turner, Karis LeVert, and Deontay Sabonis. Raza, what was your thoughts on the news coming out from Indiana?
I've been waiting for this for the last couple of years. Sabonis and Miles Turner, they just they have a ceiling. The ceiling is like first round and out. They they just need to rebuild, and then this could be like a big like shake up for the entire league. They might not trade Malcolm Brogdon because they just signed. They just gave him an extension last offseason, I believe. And talking about Sabonis, he's a top 25 player in the league. The teams I'm looking at for Demontis Sabonis, that'll be a good fit for both sides. I'm looking at your team, the Wizards. I'm looking at the Warriors. I'm looking at the Hornets as they can trade Bridges and PJ Washington and a couple of pieces. And for y'all, for y'all, maybe like Hachimura, Avdia, a couple of picks, maybe another piece here and there. And then for the Warriors, they have the pieces. The Warriors, if they just want to go all in, so it's not like Sabonis is old. He's 25 only. He's only 25, and he's a top 25 player also. Sabonis, I would just trade Wiggins, Kuminga, Moody, and a pick or two.
Mm-hmm.
That they can go all in with Steph Curry being MVP, them having the best record in the league. Demontis Sabonis can just be at the cusp of the playoffs, and he can just be the number one seed when he wakes up the next day if he gets traded to the Warriors. So I would like to see that. And then no, not being biased, but as you know, I've been saying for a couple of years now that Miles Turner on the Lakers would be a perfect Miles Turner on any team would be a perfect fit. Imagine Zion's healthy and Miles Turner. I mean, they have Valanciunas now, but before they had Valanciunas, Miles Turner is the lead leader in shot blocking. Imagine him with like a Zion. Imagine him with an AD. If he's playing next to Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis is arguably the best defender in the league right now. Arguably,
Mm-hmm.
he's number three in shot blocking. Anthony Davis. You put Miles Turner next to him. Who in the world is going in the paint when you have Anthony Davis and Miles Turner? I think I think I think Indiana's blow up can shake up the entire league. Not saying it's gonna be like a huge like championship, but Sabonis is a big piece. Miles Turner is, depending on where he goes, he can be a great fit. Brogdon, people are underrating him, bro. Brogdon is 50, 40, 90 club. Malcolm Brogdon, a year ago, 2 years ago when he was with the Bucks, he was on the all defensive first team. Malcolm Brogdon is efficient as hell. Malcolm Brogdon, he's clutch. He's a great defender. He's a good team guy. He's just a good piece to have. So I
Mm-hmm.
think the Indiana blow up can really shake up the entire
And
league.
even Karis LeVert, that brother can just score the ball at all three levels, man. So it would be interesting to see what they do. Obviously, I want Sabonis to come to DC, but knowing Tommy Shepard, I don't know if he'll play the conservative role, but I think we should go all in. And we'll see, man. The Pacers, they're always the definition of average when it comes to an NBA team. They're never contenders and they're never bottom of the league. They're always in the middle of the pack. But moving on from that Indiana Pacers news, let's talk about The team in New York, the second best team in New York, the New York Knicks. I don't know what is there to say, man. I think they should trade for Damian Lillard. RJ Barrett will never, ever, ever. I think, especially Knicks fans, because my roommate of all people, he was hyping up RJ Barrett coming into his junior year, this superstar caliber player, but he just hasn't shown up or lived up to the hype so far this season.
Yeah, another middle of the pack type of team. The Knicks, they overachieved last year. We never expected them to make the playoffs or having home court advantage against the Hawks. But Julius Randle hasn't had a great season so far, but last year he played great. And now Kemba Walker is not in the rotation. Like they have Derrick Rose, they have Emmanuel Quickly, they have Evan Fournier, and then at the wings they have obviously RJ Barrett, they have Julius Randle is a big, but they have like the likes of Obi Toppin and stuff. So they just like whenever it comes to like clutch time, they just give it to like Julius Randle is dribbling the ball up the floor and like he's just making like a tough shot or taking a tough shot, which in the playoffs is not gonna work, as we saw last season with last season in the playoffs with the Hawks. They would just double team him. I was watching a recent game, the Knicks versus the Bulls. Alex Caruso was on Julius Randle, and he just stole the ball from Julius Randle because he was taking a tough shot. I think the ideal situation for the Knicks is that if they can get like a quality like all-star caliber ball handler like a point guard who can take the pressure off like in pressure situations, especially in the playoffs. Ideal name obviously would be Damian Lillard. The Knicks have been in like they've been wanting Dame for like two
They
three
just want
years
a
now.
superstar in the Garden. That's the thing.
What do you think the trade for him would be? For
But
me
here's the thing,
it would
though.
be,
Oh, sorry. You go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, for me it would be like RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, maybe Mitchell Robinson, and like two picks because Dame is like
He's
top
good.
3 point guard.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, here's the thing, though. In retrospect, Damian Lillard, the reports, I mean, he's just been denying. Yeah, I really don't think he wants to leave Portland. And I don't know if it's just a loyalty thing or if it's, hey, I was drafted here. I'm gonna stay here. Who knows? But if it were a team to be traded to, I would want to see him in the Garden because that'd be electric. And the Knicks, they were overhyped, man. They were. I mean, Knicks fans were saying that RJ Barrett was going to be all-star this year, Julius Randle, this and that. Mitchell Robinson's an amazing center where he came and stay healthy. Evan Fournier, Alex Burks. I mean, they're good quality players, but at the end of the day, if you aren't winning on the court, then does it matter that you bring those players? Probably not. So we'll see how it
Exactly.
goes.
And then, yeah, absolutely. And then transitioning, we were talking about Dame, so let's talk about the Blazers. We heard that Dame wants to play with Ben Simmons, although he denied it afterwards. But like Dame and CJ, I like Dame, I like CJ. Like just a story about them, like being the underdog their whole life. Dame coming from Oakland, CJ going to Lehigh. No one heard of Lehigh before CJ. So a good trade for like if they trade CJ, they might want Ben Simmons, but then if they trade CJ, like they're probably gonna have to trade Dame too because their ceiling with CJ is just like second round, first round, second round, and then we saw their ceiling the 1 year when they went to the conference finals and got swept from the Warriors swept them without KD. Like KD was hurt and they couldn't win a game against the Warriors. It was Dame and CJ going up against Stephen Clay straight up, but they got swept. And then if CJ gets traded to the Sixers, they can get back Ben Simmons, and then they're probably going to be trading away Robert Covington too. So they can if they don't trade Dame and keep him with Ben Simmons, they would probably have like Dame at the one, Norman Powell. They'll probably move him because he's been playing the three. He's like 6'3". He should not be playing the small forward. So he's guarding the likes of Paul George and LeBron who are like 6'9".
Mhm.
So I would just put Norman Powell at the two. You can put like Ben Simmons at the three. You can put Larry Nance at the four, and then you can put Yusuf Nurkic Yusuf Nurkic as a five. He's been playing really good this season. Nurkic, I think this is his last year on this deal, so he's probably playing for a contract. And then if they just decide like this gives them flexibility, they can go ahead with Ben Simmons and Dame for a year maybe or two, and then if that doesn't work out, Ben Simmons is like 25, 26. He's really young, so
Mm-hmm.
they can just trade Dame and completely rebuild. And the team that like Philly is one team that could want either CJ or Dame. If they trade both of them, one of them has to go to Philly, whether it's Dame or CJ for Ben Simmons. And then another team that can like I would want to see is the Celtics. They always like whenever it's trade season, we always hear about the Celtics want to make big trades, and it never happens. I would love to see Jalen Brown getting traded for Damian Lillard. That would be a win-win. The Celtics will have Dame with Jason Tatum, and the young guys they'll need to build it out a little bit more. But then the Blazers they would have a great. They'll probably have the best young core in the NBA with Jalen Brown and Ben Simmons. That would be crazy. And then they probably can expand Norman Powell because he has some value. They can trade Larry Nance. He has value. And then Covington has value. They gave up 2 first-round picks to get Rocco, but he hasn't been playing on the level that we all thought he would with the Blazers. 3-and-D
Yeah,
guy,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's about damn time to trade Dame or CJ. It's just time to either like blow it up completely or at least try something different. We all know what the ceiling is. With Dame and CJ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, who knows, man? Jalen Brown, I love him. I love his game, and I think he deserves to. If we see him on another team as the number one option, I think he can definitely make that big push as an NBA player. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't know, man. This whole Ben Simmons, Damian Lillard, all these guys. I mean, you and I talked about it. Like the players that aren't playing right now due to injury or just off the court issues, that roster would be a championship caliber team. Like, talk about
Bro,
that, Raza.
imagine, bro. Imagine Kyrie at the one. He hasn't played a game. Imagine Jamal Murray at the two. Imagine Klay Thompson at the three. Imagine Zion at the at the four, or Zion at the four, Ben Simmons at the five. Like you can do whatever you want. And Kawhi hasn't played. I would probably do Kyrie at the one, Jamal at the two, Klay at the three, Kawhi at the four, and Zion at the small ball five. And then you still have John Wall who hasn't played. Brooke Lopez hasn't played. James
Mm-hmm.
Wiseman and Ben Simmons, they all haven't played.
Yeah,
This team can definitely win a championship.
yeah.
That's crazy.
No, I agree, man. It's insane, but it's been an interesting NBA season so far, at least. But another team that's been exceeding expectations, or not exceeding, I think they met it because they had high expectations coming into the season. The Chicago Bulls. They just lost DeMar DeRozan due to COVID, so hopefully they can still win games while him being out. But Zach LaVine, I mean, he's a baller, and they just beat the Brooklyn Nets rather, and they are currently sorry
Two
about that.
C. You're
What
good.
team are they right now?
2C. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my, yeah, they're heading up there, man. I mean, DeRozan, a guy that the Lakers couldn't have gotten, but they didn't. Of course. What's your thoughts on the Chicago Bulls so far?
I was watching the game between the number one and number two seed Brooklyn versus Chicago in Brooklyn, and DeMar was guarded by Kevin Durant. DeMar must have had like 12 to 14 points on KD, mid-range jumper after mid-range jumper after mid-range jumper, nothing but net. The irony is that it's against the Nets, so nothing but net. But DeMar has been top five in MVP for me, and we all know who Zach LaVine is. He's a tough shot maker, taker, clutch as hell, clutch as they come. Lonzo Ball has been playing great.
Yep,
Just
he hit the game,
they're young
the
guys
game,
too,
the game sealing shot against the
the
Nets.
game stealing shot against, yeah. And Lonzo Ball, we like when we drafted him as a number two pick, we thought of him as like a star, but he's not like a star. He's just like he's like an
A,
ideal role player.
a
He's like a
high end
star
role
in his
player, I'm pretty sure.
he's like a star in his role.
Mhm.
He's like when you describe like the best role player in the league is between him and Mikal Bridges to me. They do everything. They're like really they guard the best player on the other team. They hit shots, they cut. They're just great at everything.
Mhm.
And they've been playing. Vucevic has been like inconsistent, but last week or so, since he came back against Orlando, he had a good game. Against Brooklyn, he had a pretty good game. So he's getting better. He's getting back into his
And
normal
Caruso,
self,
another guy the Lakers let go.
leading the league in steals. We wish we had him, but he's having a good year too. Number 6.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who knows? The Bulls, they were. I expected them to be a top 4 seed coming into the season. So let's see how they can handle it without their star player DeRozan and come playoff
And
time.
we're going to their game too.
Oh yeah, we are going to the Bulls and Wizards game. Was it on January 1st?
Yes, New
Yeah,
Year's
so
Day.
it should be really fun and exciting. Even if we lose, it'll be nice to see Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Bradley Beal. So it should be quite the experience for you, especially because it's your first NBA game too, right?
Yeah, this is my
Yeah,
first NBA game.
yeah.
And watching
Um,
y'all lose, it's always good.
yeah, I see the Lakers lose every primetime game too.
Didn't we just win? Didn't we just beat the Celtics
But
last night?
anyway, moving on. Let's talk about the other team in the Eastern Conference, the 76ers. They have been playing well without Joel Embiid, who is coming back from protocol, but they don't have Ben Simmons. Tobias Harris barely plays due to injury or COVID. And Seth Curry and Tyrese Maxey have been really stepping it up. And Tyrese Maxey, man, another underrated player in this league.
Yeah, I'm just joking, but it's Tyrese Maxey's team. Tyrese Maxey has been playing great, and since Joel Embiid has been back the last couple of games, one game he had like 43 and 17 against Karl Anthony Towns, and then the next game he had like 40, and then he had a 28-point game. So Joel Embiid, like, there is no man who can guard him. Giannis can't guard him. AD can't guard him. There is really no defender in the league who can guard him, because like for me, like even now, like he was number 2 in MVP voting last year. But even now, for me, he settles too much. But you got to keep the defense honest, I guess. So he takes like a couple of 3-pointers here and there. But like he's elite at everything he does. He's a great rim protector. He's a great like at the rim guy. He's a great free throw shooter. That doesn't normally happen with a 7-footer. He's like a 86, 87% free throw shooter.
Really good.
That barely happens. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Tyrese Maxey has been dogging Seth Curry. He playing like Steph Curry out there.
Mhm.
Matisse, great defender. He's showing why he was our defensive team last season. And yeah, man, they've just been holding out when Tobias hasn't been there. Obviously, Ben Simmons' situation, we still don't know what's gonna happen with that.
Yeah, no, for sure. But another team in the Eastern Conference that we honestly, a lot of people didn't think about coming into the season, the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. I mean, they started off great, but this team with Lauri Markkanen, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, we all thought this just wasn't going to work, but they've been exceeding expectations. And they
Yeah,
lost Colin Sexton for the season too.
Yeah, Colin Sexton. Prayers up for him. He tore his ACL. He's out for the year. But when the season started, when I saw them signing Laurie. I forget. Was it a sign and trade? I think it was a sign and trade with Larry Nance.
Yeah.
Larry Nance. No, not Larry. Yeah, Larry. It's probably, yeah, it was. So like Larry Nance, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, like Laurie Martin is a 7-footer playing the 3. So like I didn't think it was gonna work, but like and even the spacing. But the way they've been playing, Evan Mobley has been a star. To me, he's rookie of the year so far, Evan Mobley.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Jared Allen playing like the $100 million contract he got.
Darius Garland, he's coming up there when it comes to the ranking of the point guard position in this league.
He is, man. They've been playing great, and I mean they've been inconsistent last couple of seasons. It's only 20 games, no overreactions yet, but they've been playing good. But they're a young team. Give them time. I still don't see them making the playoffs though.
Mm-hmm.
Too young.
I agree.
And Kevin Love even had a couple of 20-point games.
Yeah, I know. That was kind of when I saw that the Cavs be a team. I saw Kevin Love on the scoring leader. I was like, man, this giving me 2016 vibes.
Yeah, Kevin Love to the Wizards.
Yeah. But moving on, let's talk about my guy that just every episode still hasn't played a game this season, Zion Williamson. I mean, reports came out that, or a picture rather, of him, and he just looks completely out of shape. Currently, a report saying that he is 330 pounds. And honestly, as much as we joke about it on social media, I really think it's a mental thing that he's going through right now. And everything that he's hearing, it's just not helping. So hopefully, I still believe in the man, the number one overall pick in 2019 or 2018, was it?
2019.
2019, sorry. And I still think that he can come back into that shape that he was coming out of Duke. And I'm just praying for him.
Yeah, I just heard that he like this week he just hired his chef, like his first chef. Bro, you've been in the league for 2 years. You're getting paid like probably like 10 million or something. He's a rookie, so probably like 10 million. Bro, how do you like you like he needs to know his body, you know? If you don't know your own body, you know, like
Yeah.
but talking about the Pelicans in general, you know, Brandon Ingram has been playing at an elite level the way we, know him.
Expected him to do. Mm-hmm.
He had a 40-point game.
And
Jonas
Valanciunas.
Valanciunas, oh my god, looking like Steph Curry out there. So after the 7 3-pointer game, he's just gonna get you a double every single time. Like just his pump fake is so like you go for it every time. Like it's a little bit like Joel Embiid, you know. Like he's gonna fake, he's not shooting it, but then like when he makes 7 threes, like you gotta respect it, you know. Valanciunas is shooting 52% from three at like say 4 shot attempts, I'm pretty sure, from three. And I just want Zion to be, back healthy, and they'll be a fun team to watch, but Zion needs to be, healthy for them.
Yeah, I agree. So I still want Zion to leave the Pelicans because that's probably the best decision he could do because that organization is a dumpster fire. But
He needs to be healthy for that though.
yeah, that too. But moving on, let's talk about another team in the West. The guy that I call the most overrated player in the NBA, Luka Doncic. And his head coach, Jason Kidd, as we all know, talked about as a team that the Mavericks should stop flopping. And I'm pretty sure he's talking about number 77.
Pretty sure. Yeah, but he reports also came out today that he weighs 260, and that's not 260 of LeBron James. Like LeBron is ripped. Like Luka,
He has the
I don't
Jokic
even
body,
know.
but he's like 6'8".
Yeah, he's 6'8", 260, I heard. But like when you like last season, like before the season started with the power rankings before the season and stuff, he was picked as the favorite to be MVP last season and this season. So when like even last season he was like top 5, top 6 in MVP, and he was first team All NBA, and he took them to the playoffs. Lost in a close series. But whenever like you're having that much success, why like it's crazy to think, but you're not gonna change when you're having success. Luca's first team All NBA, Rookie of the Year, 207 million, taking his team to the semis. I'm pretty sure in the Olympics. Like, if you're having success, why would you like want to change anything? But for him to take an even next step, for them to have more success in the playoffs, like he needs to, he said himself in the press conference, he was like, I'm not in my best shape, and I need to be better, and he needs to be better, and
Yeah,
for them to have any chance in the playoffs.
yeah, I agree. And another team in the West, the Phoenix Suns, their win streak finally broke to an end after 18 games. The Warriors, after the Suns beat them, the Warriors at their home beat the Suns, and it was a pretty interesting game. I mean, Steph Curry
No
just
Devin Booker.
no Devin Booker, of course, but Steph Curry, you know, he's Steph Curry right now. Is still, I think,
MVP.
number one in MVP race right now. Just ahead of Kevin Durant, of course. But I mean, let's talk about the Suns and Warriors. What was your thoughts on them so far? And they've been dominating the league.
Yeah, the first game when D Book played, it was in Phoenix, and the Warriors lost it. The Suns won, and then but D Book also got hurt in that game. And then a couple of days later, it was a Friday night. It was on ESPN. I remember we were supposed to play. It was the Lakers Clippers, but they heard that LeBron might be out for that game, although he came back later. But they put the game on national TV, and Devin Booker wasn't playing, and Steph Curry showed why he's the MVP for me in the league. In front of KD, Giannis, DeMar, PG, Jokic. That's my top six. But the Warriors, like just their ball movement, their culture, it's just like second to none. Like there's no other team that plays like them. They're not. Obviously they're dependent on Steph Curry, the greatest shooter ever, but they're not like they have other players like they have a actual like a system. They don't have like give him the ball and get out the way type.
Yeah.
What the Lakers do. It's not one on one. They have a system. Screens. He's running around. They're cutting. Wiggins has been on fire. Wiggins has been averaging like 25 last like 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond Green doing what he does, like top 5 defensive player of the year every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Poole's been going off, 6 man of the year type stuff. Although he's been starting, but then when Klay Thompson comes back, Jordan Poole probably gonna go to the bench and he might be 6 man of the year because you need to for in order to win 6 man of the year, you have to be coming off the bench half the season, and Christmas it's like more than half still to go. So he can win 6 man of the year. And Juan Toscado Anderson's been playing great. Gary Payton's been playing great. You all had him. He's really good.
Yeah.
Like his defense, the energy he brings off the bench. He's dunking on people. And yeah, props to Steve Kerr and his team. Number
Mm-hmm.
one seed still.
No, I agree. I mean, they the Warriors are back. That's what pretty much everything you have to say when Steph Curry said, "I'm back" against the Trailblazers. But
And teamed up the
yeah, he is quite the player. But moving on from the player talk, let's talk about MVP race. I said my top three right now: Steph, KD. At three, man, it's tough, man. I don't know, like, because DeMar's been hooping, but now he's going to be out for a couple of games with COVID. Giannis, Giannis is Giannis, so I think I got to put him top three.
I'm also I actually have the same list because Steph is obviously Steph, and then KD. The way we know you can't guard KD. He's 7 feet shooting from like 9 feet. You can't guard him. We all saw what he did in the fourth quarter last night against who were they playing again last night?
The Warriors.
No,
Oh,
the Nets. The
the Nets.
Nets.
They beat the Mavericks.
The Mavericks.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter, it was closing, and KD just took over. That's what he does. That's why he's like the greatest scorer ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Giannis, bro. Giannis, like, he might not be the most talented guy in the league, but like he brings it every single night
Intensity.
on both ends of the floor. Yeah. Like his off night would be like 28, 12, and 5. That's his off night.
Mm-hmm.
Many players wish they could have that kind of off night. But Giannis just brings the intensity every single night. And nothing needs to be said about Curry. But and then as you said, DeMar's out a couple weeks probably for his COVID stuff.
Yeah.
But then let's move on to some NFL talk, Abdullah.
Yeah, I mean, looks like we have to talk about them boys who are currently now 8-4. Will be 8-5 after next week. But the Cowboys, man, I mean, they beat the Saints on Thursday Night Football without the Saints having their starting left tackle, starting right tackle, starting left guard, starting running back, starting wide receiver one, starting quarterback. Their defense already hurt, and the Cowboys barely beating them. But I gotta say some good things about the Cowboys. Micah Parsons, a stud every single day in and day out.
Defensive player of the year,
not defensive player of the year. The fifth straight game with a sack with or more, and CeeDee Lamb. I mean, that Michael Gallup catch. I mean, one thing I gotta say, Michael Gallup, he will be on a different team next season. Some teams definitely gonna overpay for him. Just can't have all three of them. But Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, that fire offense, Tony Pollard, 50-yard touchdown, Dak being Dak. I mean, what is there to say, man?
Yeah. Did you before we get started on the game, did you see what Jerry Jones said today in his radio?
I didn't. What he said,
bro. So the host of the it's all right. So let me like tell the people like so Jerry Jones, who's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, he has a radio show that premieres every week. So it's every like Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe. So it's once a week. And there's no other like GM/owner/ whatever you want to call him. that has his own radio show. So he was at like the host asked him, "How do you feel about Dak's health?" And rather than saying like his calf or whatever, it feels good now. He's been playing solid. He's he's getting better. He's on the right track. He's gonna keep getting better, and we're winning games and stuff. He said he blamed the wide receivers, and I know damn well he is not watching film. And even if he is, he doesn't know what he's watching on film. So he doesn't know. Like he literally said the wide receivers are running the wrong routes. Like like how would he know? And that like brings in like internal conflict to me because now because Jerry Jones is not what he's not at practice. He's not watching film. He's not watching tape. So a coach or like Mike McCarthy or Killen Moore, or some wide receiver coach. He probably heard it somewhere. I don't know. Someone told him. But now Amari Cooper, CD Lamb, Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, they all are gonna think like who dry snitched on us, Like it's gonna be some internal conflict, and you never want to see your quarterback or wide receiver getting mad because that can really like harm the team a lot. And then transitioning to the game, Micah Parsons, to me, he's in Defensive Player of the Year conversations.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's
For
over.
sure. Yep.
And Taysom Hill had like 164, 165 yards, and then he ran for
It was
100
literally
yards.
one drive where it's just Taysom Hill
He was
gets the
running,
ball,
yeah,
he just
every
run.
time.
It looked like
Yeah,
a
running
8-year-old
back.
using Lamar Jackson in Madden. It looks so funny.
Yeah, yeah. Noah Elvin Kamara. We all thought he was gonna play, but then like I was relieved when they said Elvin Kamara's not playing. But Taysom Hill had a busted middle finger, and he threw for 165, but then he actually threw for 265 and ran for 100, so that's 365. Zeke looks kind of hurt, banged up. Tony Pollard has been killing it, 58-yard touchdown. But the worrying sign for the Cowboys is that in the Dak Prescott era, like he's been in the league for his 6th year, he's 29-0. 29-0 when we run the ball more times than we throw it. He is 20. We are 29-0. So what does that tell you? Run the ball.
Run the
Run
ball.
the ball. Right. This
No.
game we had one play with Tony Pollard, obviously the 58-yard touchdown, and then the CD Lamb 33-yard. But other than that, we didn't do anything, bro. There's like Zeke is not looking like Zeke. He's banged up. We if y'all lost, we're gonna talk about y'all and Raiders. But if y'all lost that game, I would just sit Zeke. There'll be a 3-game gap between us, so I would just sit him. But now it's against y'all, so we gotta play him.
No.
But
Yeah, I
Michael Gallup,
agree.
yeah, Michael Gallup. Did you see he mossed him?
Oh
The defender,
man, the
oh my
toe
god.
drag swag, man. Michael Gallup, a very underrated wide receiver in this league as well.
And he's, as you said, he's probably gonna get paid a lot of money because we don't have that much money to keep him, and then we might draft another wide receiver because someone's definitely overpaying him.
Yeah, but I mean the Cowboys, like I always say, and like I will always die by, what can
We
go
them
wrong
boys.
will go wrong for the Dallas Cowboys,
We them boy.
and then will happen this Sunday.
We like that.
But moving on,
Come see us.
we'll see Sunday. Moving
We'll
on
see.
from that game, the Thursday night game, the Colts beat the Texans 31-0. Really nothing much to say. I mean, Jonathan Taylor had over 100 yards rushing, 143, and 2 touchdowns. I honestly think he's an MVP conversation. I know he's a running back, but still, you got to put respect where respect is due. He is the best running back in football since there's no Derrick Henry playing. And Michael Pittman had over 70 yards over the air. Texans, I mean, what?
But you said the Colts beat the Texans?
Yeah.
I thought Jonathan Taylor beat the Texans.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor is the Colts.
31-0, baby. But the Colts, man, I mean, Carson Wentz, he's been, I mean, they started off the season 1-3. They've been playing great ever since then. So hopefully they can keep it up and maybe become a threat in the AFC when it comes to coming to the Chiefs or the Bills or the Patriots, rather. So we'll see.
Especially when it snows, the weather is messed up. They have the running game, they have the best running back in the league. So that's not going to be a problem. And
Yeah.
their defense has been playing great. Their O line is legit. They
Yeah.
probably have the
Quentin
best O
Nelson.
line in
Oh
the
man.
league. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have
I
the best O
agree,
line.
man. I agree. But let's talk about the Detroit Lions finally, and I mean finally getting a win. And of course, it was against the Minnesota Vikings. It came down to the last play where it was a 4th and 3, and Jared Goff threw it to Monte Brown, who was wide open. I didn't know whoever the defensive coordinator was for the Vikings. I don't know what kind of zone they were playing because that was just too much cushion. And the Vikings ended up winning 29-27. It was just really nice to see because after a really hard year, after this organization, the losses they've went through this year, it's just nice to see a win, and it had to be against the Vikings. And they were celebrating like they won the Super Bowl, but when losers win, you got to celebrate right.
Yeah, who knows more than you?
Yeah, for sure. But
No, but
on the Viking
yeah,
side of the ball,
Minnesota. Yeah,
yeah, I want to talk
way too
about
inconsistent.
Justin Jefferson. Raza, I'm not even kidding anymore. I think he's a top 3 wide receiver in this league.
Top three:
Top 3. He is top 3 right now.
Devontae, D
Devontae,
Hop, Cooper Cup
I'm taking Justin Jefferson over all of them. Man. It's
over
his
Cooper Cup.
second year.
All
Yes.
of them?
Yes.
You're taking him over Devontae.
No, not Devontae.
D Hop?
No.
I don't know, bro. So he's third.
Where is he? Where is he?
To me, he's top 5, top 6. You know, he's really good. He's really good. But is he better than Stephon Diggs?
Yep, I take him over Stephon Diggs.
You would?
Yeah.
He's arguably top 5. You know, not top 3. You know, I'm taking Devontae, D Hop, Cooper Cup, Stephon Diggs. Who else? Can you think of anyone?
I mean, I don't know. It's just there's so many great receivers in this league, but Justin Jefferson, man, I mean, he's just like off rip. I mean, there's really no debate between him and CeeDee Lamb. I think we can agree on that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
yes.
for sure. Yeah. But moving on from the Vikings, let's go back to that. I don't know, man. Like I want to support them just because Kirk Cousins, but they're just really inconsistent, man. And I think they have to fire Mike Zimmer and just clear house when it comes to. They have the talent. I mean, you have Dalvin Cook, you have Kirk Cousins, a top 15 quarterback in this league, maybe even borderline top 10. You got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. Defensively, you still have key pieces. I don't know, man. I think it's coaching, and they got to clear house, and hopefully next year they become a threat in the NFC North. Who knows?
I just want to I just want something to happen that we can somehow be like top 3 seed, and they're like 6, 7, and we play them in the in the first round of the playoffs. I just want to see that happen because we about to. That's easy. That's like bye week for us. You saw what Cooper Rush did. We didn't even have Dak and Kirk Cousins, bro. If you're that guy, if you're a top 10, 15 receiver quarterback in the league, you gotta be able to beat a backup quarterback, bro. I don't care. They can have Gronk with I don't know Randy Moss out there. I don't care, bro. You have to beat a backup quarterback, Kirk.
Yeah.
They're way too inconsistent. Dalvin Cook is injured now, I believe.
Yep.
And yeah, man, too inconsistent.
No, I agree. I agree, man. But moving on from the Vikings, let's talk about the red hot Dolphins, who are now 6-7, and they beat the New York Giants 20-9. Really, nothing much to say. Jalen Waddle and Tua Tagovailoa looking like a premier duo coming into this or coming for years to come in this league. And the Giants, man, Mike Glennon played terrible. Their quarterback next week, I'm pretty sure, is going to be Jake Fromm. So I don't know. It's a whole debacle. I mean, the Giants' offense just lackluster. I know they fired Jason Garrett, but like Kenny Galladay, the guy that paid $70 million or like around $70 million the contract, he just hasn't scored a touchdown this year. They're in a whole dysfunctional place right now. What are your thoughts on the Giants right now?
The Giants, man, like firing your OC is not gonna help when you don't when you don't have the talent. What is a coach gonna do? You know, Daniel Jones is below average as a quarterback. He's inconsistent, and then like the weapons, as you said, Galladay hasn't had a touchdown the whole year. Shepard has been out. Tony has been out. Like
Yeah, it's kind of
Even
hard.
their defense, that's
Yeah.
inconsistent
And
as
even
hell.
Saquon,
I can't
man.
wait to play them.
I,
Yeah.
I I love Saquon, even though I'm a Washington fan. I was rooting for him, but like just ever since that injury, dude, and when he played against when he played behind that terrible offensive line, I just don't think he'll ever be the same again, man.
He had a pretty good game. This game, he had over 85 yards, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I agree, but I just don't think he'll ever be top five.
Yeah, not like
And
that.
it's
Yeah,
sad. It's
probably
hard
not.
to hear, but that's what injuries do to a player in the NFL. But moving on from that game, let's talk about the Bucks and the Falcons. I mean, Tom Brady, man, just another great game, putting him in and ahead, or I don't know, is he number one in MVP talk right now?
No, not for me. No.
But the GOAT had over 300 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin went off as usual. And the Falcons, I mean, they're the Falcons. They did have Russell Gage, who had over 100 yards. What was your thoughts on that game, Raza?
Yeah, before I go on that, do you think the Bucks, like, since they got the win now, they can go onto a run like they did last year?
I mean, if they see the Washington football team, probably not. But but I mean, it's Tom Brady come postseason. GOAT would do GOAT things. So
Yeah, like just the weapons they have surrounding Tom Brady. Antonio Brown is not even playing. He's suspended for 3 games now, 2 more games.
mhm.
They have Mike Evans, who's like the best like red zone target. They have Chris Godwin, who went off for 145 yards. They have Gronk, who last game put up 123 yards. They have Scotty Miller, who had that touchdown last in the championship game against the Packers, like the last play before half. They have the likes of OJ Howard, Cameron Bray. Like their O line has been really, really good, obviously, protecting Tom Brady. Their defense, like their secondary is obviously struggling with injuries and just the inconsistent play. But like their front is crazy. They can never rule out Tom Brady. But I'm not picking them to go to the Super Bowl this season.
Interesting. It's very interesting counting out the GOAT. But he's been there, done that. But
He's not making it this season.
moving on to the next game rather. I mean, Eagles beating the Jets 33-18. Really nothing much to say. The Jets are the Jets. Gardner Minshew did start at quarterback, so that's pretty interesting to see. He had a pretty well first half, and I don't know. Eagles fans are saying that he should be QB1 after just one game.
No, 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 no. Chill, bro. Chill.
I
They need to
love the
chill.
Minshew
Jalen
mania
Hurts is the
fans,
future.
but yeah. Jalen Hurts, I think he has the upside to be an elite quarterback. He just has to limit on the turnovers. And honestly, like
Yes. And give him some weapons and give him some time, bro.
Jalen
It's his
Rager,
second year.
oh my goodness. Eagles fans, they know it as much as me, but or more than me rather. He
Could have
is
had Justin
utter
Jefferson.
garbage. Oh my goodness, he is bad. I mean,
Could have had
Devontae,
Jefferson.
yeah. That's what Eagles fans are going to hear for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Next year, I think the Eagles will have two first round picks in the top 10.
In the
You
top 10.
cannot have Howie Roseman, or not Howie Roseman. Is it Howie? Yeah, Howie Roseman. Where the general manager is. You cannot have him pick. Like he shouldn't be near the draft board come draft time because Jalen Rager is utter garbage. They have Devontae Smith. He's all right. JJ Arcega-Whiteside, the guy they picked over DK Metcalf, over Terry McLaurin, over Debo Samuel. He is garbage. They just give him some help, man.
Yeah, give the man some help, bro. Give him time and give him help. He just has no weapons. Devontae Smith has been playing pretty good, but he's still like a rookie. So, give him time, give him chill. Like Minshew played good, but that was one game.
Yeah, for sure. And it was against the Jets too. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. But let's talk about the Cardinals beating the Bears 33-22. Kyler Murray and B Hop are back and they connected on one touchdown. Kyler Murray had 2 touchdowns, and James Conner had over 70 yards rushing. Andy Dalton, 4 interceptions. Justin Fields, of course, was not playing. David Montgomery had over 150 yards rushing. So that was nice to see. But the Cardinals, they're back, and when healthy, I think they're a real threat to the Packers, the Bucks, and the Rams in the NFC.
So what happened in fantasy to me? Someone sent me a trade. So the trade was Terry McLaurin for Elijah Moore, David Montgomery, and it was someone else, irrelevant. So I accidentally hit accept and it went through. This guy Terry McLaurin, your guy, he had 5 fantasy points, and then
Oh,
Montgomery. Oh, I traded T Higgins. Oh my god,
yeah,
bro, T
that's just
Higgins.
you. That's just you being a dumb GM.
No, I that was on accident. So I traded T Higgins, Montgomery, and Elijah Moore. So T Higgins goes out there, gets 29 fantasy points. Montgomery has like 30, and Elijah Moore has like 15, and then Terry McLaurin has 5 fantasy points.
Mm,
So crazy. Nah,
very
but
crazy.
yeah, but yeah.
That's just
Let's
on
let's
you.
talk about some Chargers and Bengals game.
Yeah,
Chargers beating Bengals 41-22. Justin Herbert, another 300-yard game. T Higgins, as I said, he destroyed me in fantasy. He had 140 yards. Joe Burrow had 300 yards, and just a quality win for the Chargers against a really good Bengals
and
team.
that's the thing. The Bengals. I mean, a lot of people are saying they could come be dangerous in playoff time, but they're just really inconsistent. I don't,
Yeah,
I don't trust them just because they're so young. And it was so funny because there was one play where Joe Burrow literally throws it to Jamar Chase, has an easy, like, I think 60-yard touchdown, and Jamar bobbles it, and it becomes an interception for the Chargers. So I don't know. They're just inconsistent. The Chargers, they're being the Chargers, and Justin Herbert at QB with that offense. I mean, who can stop that?
absolutely.
Yeah, but the next game, the Rams destroying the Jaguars 37-7. OBJ had a touchdown. Matthew Stafford had over 300 passing and 3 touchdowns, and Cooper Kupp, as usual, his normal self, had over 100 yards catching and a touchdown himself. But that was
Sony
just
Michelle had over 100 yards.
oh yeah, Tony Michelle did have over 100 yards, so that was pretty good to see. I don't know if the Rams are back in being number one in the NFC just because, or number one threat in the NFC just because it's the Jaguars, and we'll
Yeah,
see how they
exactly.
finish
I'm
off the season.
I'm I'm taking the Packers over them. I'm taking the Bucks over them.
The
I am
Cardinals,
taking the Cardinals over them.
mm.
I am even taking
The Cowboys over them.
Buzz over them for
Oh
sure.
my gosh.
We
Okay.
just like
But I'm telling you
our
right
defense
now,
is not there.
I would bet money on it. If you guys play the Rams in the wild card, I'm taking the Rams 10 times out of 10.
We're 4 seed right now. They're 5 seed, so
Oh my, yeah,
that might
I
happen.
want that to happen. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I want to. Our defense has been playing great. If our offense can stay like consistent, that can make the plays that we know he can. Watch
we'll
out.
see. We'll see. But let's talk about the next game. The team in Washington, the team that's on a 4-game win streak and who just came off beating the Las Vegas Raiders, who not too long ago beat the Dallas Cowboys at their home
Y'all
place
got lucky. Y'all got
on
lucky. We're gonna
in
talk about
Las
that.
at Dallas when everyone was watching. But that's something else for another time to talk about. Beating the Las Vegas Raiders 17-15 as we take the dub. The dub.
Lucky.
I was hyped, and now 6-6 and playing their division rivals, arguably the biggest divisional rival in all of sports, the Cowboys on Sunday in Washington. And man, oh man, ladies and gentlemen, this game on Sunday might break or make my friendship with Raza.
That's an easy game for us. But coming back to this game, bro, y'all got lucky, bro.
And let's
The
not
Hail
act like
Mary.
the Cowboys haven't been helped when it comes to referees.
When we played the Raiders, didn't you see what happened to Brown?
Yeah,
That
well,
was like
that's
four
because he
plays.
didn't turn his back around.
That was not a penalty,
But
bro. That
all
cost the
aside,
game.
let's talk about it. I mean, Antonio Gibson had over 110 yards of rushing the ball, 1 touchdown. He's been pretty solid. Who is now leading the league? Oh, sorry, rather, he's leading the NFC in rushing yards. That's over your boy Zeke, over Dalvin
He's
Cook.
hurt.
Excuses, man.
That one's out. That one's out.
Antonio Gibson has been dealing with injury this season as well, and I think he
He's
deserves
okay.
to be in the Pro Bowl.
He's okay.
But
But
Heineke
I
had
know someone else is better than him.
Heineke had a pretty solid game, and Logan Thomas, the one-handed catch. Oh my goodness! Sadly, he did have some knee damage. It was partially, initially rather,
ACL.
it was a torn ACL, but good news came back that he didn't tear anything. He will be out for the season rather. That's really good to see because we all know ACL and MCL injuries could very much change a player's career in a heartbeat. So prayers up to him. Derek Carr had no touchdowns and was held under 300 yards passing. And when Derek Carr is held under 300 yards passing, that really gives a good chance of the opposing team a chance to win the game. But all around, this team
Especially
just
with no Darren Waller.
No, Darren Waller, that was huge as well. Hunter Renfro was just wide open every play. He reminds me of Cole Beasley, like 2.0. He's just a smart football player. And I understand that the pass interference call, it was ticky tacky, but at the end of the day, the
That was a
Raiders,
bad call. That was a bad
it was a
call.
bad call, but we don't want the refs to end up holding the game for everybody. So I'm telling you, man, if Washington, okay,
Y'all, the only good team y'all beat is Tampa Bay.
Tampa
What's
Bay,
one
but
other good team y'all beat?
the team that you guys lost to, the Raiders.
Vegas, y'all got
No,
away with a bad call. That was a
oh,
bad call.
oh,
That was a
oh.
bad call.
She always
Who else? Who
excuses,
else?
excuses for your Cowboys fans, man.
All right, who else did
But
y'all
I'm
beat?
telling you
Carolina.
right now, if you guys mess around and lose to us, it is over. It is over, and you need to panic. It is
I'm not
over.
panicking.
And
We play y'all. That's
if you
easy.
guys beat us on Sunday, then the division is yours, and we're just gonna fight for the 7th seed or 6th seed, rather.
It's already ours, bro. Easy.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, easy.
But moving on from that game, let's talk about the team in Baltimore losing to the Steelers 2019 off a controversial 2-point play call. The Steelers, what was it? Lamar Jackson ended up overthrowing Mark Andrews. I don't know if it was Mark Andrews' fault, but the Ravens, man, I just can't trust them. I just can't.
Like when I first saw the play, I was like, John Harbaugh, what are you doing, bro? Why don't you go for, extra point? But then after the game, he said they had no cornerbacks. They were all Marlon Humphrey out for the year. And when it goes to overtime, as we all know, it's just luck, coin toss, it can go either way. So if they lost the toss, they would have probably, lost the game. But Jimmy Johnson, the great Dallas Cowboy, like I heard him saying, whenever you're on the road and you have a chance to either win the game or tie the game, always go for the win because like the crowd is there, so you cannot even like let them smell, like just just beat them right there. They tried, but like Lamar missed him. It was Lamar's fault, not Andrew's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ben, please retire,
It
please.
was a great play by TJ Watt because he made Lamar throw it on the outside. So,
Yes.
I don't know, man. The Ravens, I think they're still number 1 in the AFC or maybe number 2 when it comes to
Number
seeding.
2, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe, but at the end of the day, I just don't trust Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry, that's how it is. I love that guy, but when it comes to winning a Super Bowl, I don't know if he can deliver for the city of Baltimore. But
Yeah.
moving
Deontay
on.
Johnson.
Say it again.
Deontay Johnson had 100 yards.
Oh yeah, Deontay.
Najee Harris had 100 yards.
I'm telling you, the Steelers have great pieces, but they just need to get a new quarterback. Big Ben is not the answer, and Dwayne Haskins and backup is not the answer as well. So who knows who's going to replace him? And let's talk about NFC West matchup. The Seahawks, they beat the 49ers 30-23. George Kittle had a massive day, over 180 yards over the air, 2 touchdowns, had one tip toast down the sideline, 50-yard touchdown. The Seahawks scored off a fake punt. Jimmy G had 2 interceptions. Metcalf and Lockett had a pretty good game as well, but Gerald Everett had a rough game. I think it was one play where they were within the 5-yard line of scoring, and then he drops the ball, ends up being an interception. There was another play where I think he fumbled twice, and one was like literally at the 1-yard line. So a rough game for him, but the 49ers ended up losing, and that really helped us because Washington is now in the 6th seed. So what was your thoughts
Are
on
the
that
Seahawks
game?
back? Are the Seahawks back?
Heck no, I don't know. No, it's too late now, baby.
Yeah.
If you lose to a team with no name, you're not going to come back.
Absolutely. And Jimmy like their defense like played solid in the fourth quarter, holding off Jimmy Garoppolo in the last quarter. And Jimmy G, who had 2 interceptions, but he like just his connection with George Kittle, George Kittle is like the second best tight end in the league after Travis Kelsey. So George Kittle, he's kind of injury prone last couple of seasons, especially. Uh, he missed like 3 weeks, came back last week, and then this week he had 182 yards with 2 touchdowns, just massive. And the Seahawks holding the 49ers, but it's too late also for me also. But the 49ers can definitely make the playoffs.
I agree. We'll see. But after that loss against the Seahawks, that does hurt their chances a lot, though.
And Debo didn't play, so
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But let's talk about the Sunday night match, the Sunday night football game. The Chiefs, they just owned the Broncos. They beat them 22-9. Teddy Bridgewater really couldn't do anything. That Chiefs defense has been playing great recently. Just after I literally talked about how trash they were at the beginning of the year, they've been turning it up the past like 5 games. So that's pretty good to see. Javonte Williams, I mean, that boy, Raza. What do you guys say about him? That running back for the Broncos.
he's a star in the making. He's about to be like a top 6, top 7 pick in fantasy next year. And like talking about the Chiefs defense, last 5 games, they've averaged letting the opponents get 17 points when at like the first like half of the season it was at like 30. So it almost like like now it's like half of what it was. All
Mm-hmm.
credit to the defense. I never thought I was gonna say this, but this game the Chiefs defense carried their offense, and they had a pick six too. What's his
Mm-hmm.
name? Danced into the red zone.
Swanson was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sorensen. Yeah.
yeah. Well, out of all people.
Out of all people,
Yeah.
we all are like, why is he even in the game? And then he has a pick six.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean the Chiefs, I think they're finally back. I think they won 4 in a row, or this is the fifth game in a row. And it just took some time for them to, get rid of the beginning of the year slumps. But moving on to Monday Night Football, it was a crazy game as the Patriots beat the Bills. I think it was 14-10, the final score, I'm pretty sure. And Mac Jones only threw the ball 3 times,
Three
completing
times.
it 2 passes for 14 yards. Damian Harris had over 100 yards rushing and had a rushing touchdown. And I, man, that was a crazy game. The Bills, and I'm telling you right now, the Patriots, man, I didn't believe them until this game where if they beat their division rivals, that they are legit. They are fully legit right now.
They are legit, and all the credit goes to Coach Bill Belichick. This is why he is the best coach ever. He is not stubborn. He's not gonna be like, if I throw the ball, I am gonna keep throwing the ball. He adapts to the situation, the weather. Like a week before the game, like last week, he probably knew the weather, and he knew like he just like wins. He doesn't care how it comes. Like same thing, Mac Jones said the same thing. He said, I don't care about how many times I throw the ball, how many yards I throw it for, how many touchdowns. It does, like, I just want to win. That's Coach Belichick. In like a few words, he just wants to win. And like Josh Allen, he had a chance to prove why he's like, top 6, top 7 quarterback in the league, but he just the weather, and he just couldn't make the clutch play, especially the wind took it away from Stephon Diggs in the red zone, which
Yeah,
was like
yeah,
3rd and 5, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. But the Bills, man, I still think they can make some noise in the playoffs. But if they play the Patriots again, hopefully it's under fair weather conditions. but
Teams Russell Wilson can play for. Russell Wilson
oh
would
yeah, let's talk about
strongly
Russell Wilson.
consider Giants, Saints, and Broncos.
I don't want him to come to the Giants because we already have
I don't want to
we,
see that.
we already have Dak Prescott enough to worry about. So the Broncos would be good to see just because him and Mahomes twice a year would be interesting. And I don't know, the
Saints
Saints
would be good too.
Saints would be
Yeah.
good too, but
Kamara, Michael
they're in the
Thomas when he's
NFC,
back.
so I don't want to deal with them.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Broncos would
always
be
got to
nice to
think one
Mahomes.
step ahead.
But we're
But
beating them, so we don't got to worry about that.
okay,
Y'all got to worry about that.
okay. But let's end the show on that. The preview for our divisional game come Sunday. What do you think?
Yeah, so if y'all win this game,
It's over. It's over.
not over, but
Yes, it is. It is. You guys aren't taking the division.
if we win this, it's over too.
Yeah, it's
You know
over.
that.
No, I agree. If you guys beat us, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, so this is gonna be like, this might define y'all season. For us, we still play the Eagles, we still play the Giants, so we are not dependent completely on this game. It's a really important game for us. If we can somehow win this game, it's definitely over. And I think y'all gonna have a lot of trouble with our defense. Taylor Heineke's been playing great. He's a bit like what's his name, Fitzmagic. He's a little bit like him, you know. He's gonna run around. He makes clutch plays, you know. He somehow finds a way to make the plays, although like he's not like the most talented ever, but he somehow finds a way to make it.
Mhm.
I don't see him doing anything with Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is sacking him at least 3 times,
Okay.
over and under 3 times.
Okay. All right. Well, my view on this game. Antonio Gibson, as you know, he owns the Cowboys franchise.
No
And
Micah Parsons back then.
um, but Terry McLaurin owns Trevon Diggs as well.
Trayvon
So
Diggs is the best top 3 cornerback in the league.
that is not true at all.
That's
And
true.
we'll see. I mean, I honestly, even if we lose, if it's a great game, I'm still going to be encouraged by it just because playing against a caliber team like the Cowboys is really something to see. And if we lose to the Cowboys, I still think we have a chance at the 6 and 7 seed because we play you guys again and the Eagles and the Giants once more. So, what's your score prediction?
My score prediction is 24 27 27 17.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'm going to go Washington wins 28-24. I just think that your run defense isn't as great as, you know, besides Micah Parsons, really no one else on that defense that scares me.
D-Law.
D-Law's overrated. And
Oh,
our offensive
Antonio
line.
Gibson's overrated.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we'll see come Sunday, guys.
We will see.
We'll see.
3 days.
That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching our preview video for this divisional game and just recapping the NFL and NBA. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more NFL and NBA content. And we're out. Peace.